Hey guys, it's JB Hart here. I hope you guys are doing well on this lovely Sunday. Me personally, I am recovering from a hangover, so I hope I'm not too low energy today. I just took a shower to wake me up, so hope I'm not too low energy today. But welcome to the I'm Just a Big Bone podcast, episode 3. Episode 3. We're gonna keep this going, guys. I can't wait till I get to like the double digits and everything, and I just have like this long list of all these different episodes and stuff like that. But thank you to everyone that's been supporting me with the last one, liking and sharing, and anyone who is new watching out there. Welcome to this podcast where we talk about the fat truth, some of our traumas and triggers here, and dating as a plus size woman, leveling up for your life, trying to attract that right man, you know, all that good stuff. So, welcome to this podcast, and I hope you learn something today, and I hope you can relate to some of the things that we're going to talk about today. Because, as you could tell by the title of this video, we are going to talk about how to stand out as a big woman when you're plus size dating, and also with that, not only how to stand out, but how to get men to take you seriously. Now, a lot of women, including myself, has had a lot of experience. I'm not gonna say a lot because I don't want to sound like no. I've had a lot of times where I just knew I was an experiment. Oh, for sure. A lot of guys that I've dated in the past, I definitely thought it was cool to be like their first big girl. Shoot me. I mean, I really thought it was like cool because I was like, oh, I'm gonna show him something good. Like, I'm gonna really turn him out. Like, no, don't. That's not a flex. It's not a flex to be a guy's first big girl. It's actually very bad. And 9 times out of 10, you're an experiment. They're gonna hit it and quit it and move on to the next one. And for a girl that they really like. So it doesn't matter what you say. You could be the prettiest big girl he's ever seen in his life, and he's definitely gonna tell you that. You could have the best look, and you will put together, and he likes your makeup and your person. It doesn't even matter about your personality, honestly, because he doesn't care. You can literally say 2 jokes, and he's like, "Oh, she's so funny." Da 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 da. Let's go to the bedroom. you know. So we're gonna talk about why a lot of guys see big women as experiments because here is my thoughts. One thing that I definitely had to do was stop taking things so personally. I feel like in order for you really to weed out those men that are going to treat you like an experiment, you have to understand that it's really all on the way society has made beauty standards. So it's not our fault that we are just not society's beauty standards. But with that, I also will say, with that thought, you really have to sit there and think, okay, well, since I'm not, part of this beauty standard and stuff like that, you really have to understand what to do with the information. For me, it was not taking things so personally, understanding that that is just by default going to be a problem for you when you are a big girl. You have to understand that it takes into account everything, takes into account how people treat you, how men treat you. It's just is what it is. And you can't sit here and cry about it and be sad about it because we have to live, okay? We can't sit here and cry about how we are not on the cover, da 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 da. You need to really sit here and understand that we are not part of the beauty standard. Even though you probably are beautiful, you probably are attractive and amazing and all this, but at the end of the day, we've been taught as a society, hey, if you see this type of person, that's not cute, that's not da 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 da. So when you take into account of that and look at it at like that perspective, that's when I think that you really kind of like evolve into a better person because you are not thinking about me. You're just thinking about how society has made everyone think. So it's not just you personally. It's not part of the standards. It's everybody. Okay. It's me. It's everybody that's big. We're not part of the beauty standards. So that is why a lot of men see plus size women and will take us as a joke. They won't take us seriously. It's because, like I said, society has already taught us that. So it kind of isn't their fault either of, thinking, we're not the standards, whatever, because everyone has been taught that. Like, that's just whatever, right? So really take into account, don't take it personally, okay? But also do not waste your time on those men that are held by those society things and who really aren't like awake and thinking how we're thinking and truly understand that we ourselves, like that women, we already know that we are beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So that's my one. Second thing is another reason why men do not take big girls seriously is I think it really starts with the big girl that doesn't take herself seriously. I feel like a lot of us will ignore a lot of red flags. A lot of big girls will sit there and wait to the last strike because they think that they're not going to find another man to date or another man to love them because of the size that they are. Because it's definitely tough enough. Okay? It's definitely tough enough to try to find a man who loves your size, who's not embarrassed of you, who, will show you attention in public and all that stuff and will show you his family, his friends, all that stuff. But it's a whole nother ball game whenever it has to come down to cutting off the person that you're really into or you really want it to work and you're just like, oh well, if this just wasn't my size, like I'm sure that he would like me, da 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 da. If he doesn't like you right now, with you how you looking right now, it's just not gonna work. And that's the hard truth. That's the cold truth of it. It doesn't matter if you lost that weight. You need to be understanding of having someone to love you for who you truly are on the inside. And that's what you have to take into account because a lot of people, even like skinnier people, will be with other skinny people. And then, there's always stories of those men who cheat on their wife when they're pregnant, or maybe she had a baby and never got the baby weight off in time, or like a high timely manner. Those are the men that never truly love that person because when it came down to loving who you are unconditionally, that's when it become a problem. So truly understand, if he don't like you how you looking now, he's not gonna like you if you were skinny. Now, if you did lose a couple of pounds and you feel like, okay, now he's looking at you more after you lost the weight and stuff like that, that's a whole nother story. But most likely, you don't need to sit there and wait around trying to force it to work if you're not his type now. It's just not going to work. So definitely watch out for that when you're trying to find a man to take you seriously, for sure. I had to write all this down, you guys. So another thing I really, really want to talk about was making him chase you. So another reason why I feel like men don't take big girls seriously is because a lot of them, a lot of us, big girls, whatever, a lot of big girls don't let the men chase them. Some of y'all are like way too generous. Way too generous. Cooking on the first date, spoiling him immediately. No, you need to get spoiled first. Okay? Just because you're a big girl does not mean you're not the prize. If you're a woman, you're always going to be the prize, no matter how much you weigh. And especially as a big girl, it's very important to hold yourself to a really, really high standard when it comes to making yourself a priority, because then the men are in your life are going to treat you as that priority too. So definitely not being so accessible, being so available for him, and really showing all of your cards and being sold on a person immediately when you really should be really um, dating different people and seeing what type of men that you're actually interested in. So always take into account that men are meant to prey. Like, they're meant to be like, well, I want to say predators, but they're meant to chase women. They're meant to guide and stuff like that. So if a man is not chasing you, and if you ever feel like you're chasing him, he doesn't like you, and he's not taking you serious. If you ever feel like you are sitting around waiting for him to text you back, and you're like, oh, well, he didn't call me, and maybe I should call again, and da 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 da, that's already going wrong. Because guess what he's doing? He's chasing another woman while you blowing up his phone. He's annoyed by you. Okay? Anytime you feel like you are literally exhausted and tired and running after this man, like, it's not gonna work out. He's not taking you seriously. He is probably looking at you like an experiment, and you need to move on because you wasting time when there's thousands and millions of men who will take the time to chase you and treat you out and spoil you the best. So definitely do not be so accessible. Take yourself seriously so that way he can take you seriously, and making yourself a priority at all means. And definitely never change your schedule for men. Always have your schedule filled with things you like to do for yourself. So hanging out with friends, any type of self-care, or honestly, even just sitting down watching TV. If you're sitting down watching TV and you have planned this day, oh, Sunday I watch TV, I'm going to drink wine and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then let's say he texts you randomly and wants to go here really quick, like a spontaneous trip. And let's say you don't feel like going. You're busy. You're still busy to me. He doesn't need to know what you're exactly doing. And if he do ask you, lie. Say something. I'm doing something with my friends or something like that. Like, whatever. You don't have to sit here and wait on a man just because he's like looking. He like looked at you twice and texted you, and he texted you all these beautiful, sweet things, but never really makes any action and wants you to change your plans. That makes you like want to chase him and stuff like that. That's definitely a man that's going and sees you in a unfeminine like energy, like I would say, because I was like, what is that? Unfeminine energy, like. Basically, he's not seeing you that feminine if he feels like you need to chase him and he feels like he's surprised. Then that means that you are not the type of woman that he wants. So that's definitely something very important. And I also, along with trying to find guys that don't want to treat you an experiment, you really also, as a big girl, if you are going after someone who you're not quite sure has been a bigger girl before and you really want to stand out, definitely be very mysterious. Okay? I really advise y'all to be mysterious. Be mysterious in a sense of like, he's asking you different questions about what you're doing in his head. Like, of course, don't have him ask so many questions because, like I said in my last video, always ask the guy lots of questions. Don't really talk about yourself too much because, like I said, he needs to chase you. He needs to earn information out of you. Okay? He needs to figure you out. And that's also how you get men to not take you, to take you more seriously, because if a man knows everything about you, they get bored so easily. So easily. So if you're texting him and you're telling him all about yourself, all about your childhood, all about your trauma, all about this, all about that, he done found everything he needed to find out in the first day or two, and he's bored, and now on to the next one. So especially as a big girl, you really gotta understand, if you really want to attract the men that you want, you have to stand out. Um, we already have that default of not being, part of societal beauty standards. So standing out is very crucial. You have to say something that's going to catch his attention, and don't text too much. Don't text in paragraphs. Don't double text him. Leave him on scene sometimes just so he knows that he not all that. Shoot, you the prize. Like I said, Have him double text you. Have him figure out, dang, like, I gotta really get her attention. Yes, you have to treat yourself like you are really on a pedestal because you are a princess. It's a very princess mindset that you really gotta have to stand out. Also, like I said, let him be the one to talk the most. Let him be the comedian. Let him think that he's funnier than you, for sure. A lot of men understand and know that, honestly, when it comes to personality, a lot of big girls is funny. We tell the jokes. We on the mic. So I had to learn the hard way that I could not show my personality that quick. You can't show him, like I said, you can't show him all your cards. You have to stand out. You have to make sure he's going to take you seriously. So let him make the jokes. You chuckle at the stuff, maybe not too hard. Don't chuckle too hard because you know it's not that funny. But what I'm saying is, don't sit here and be like the clown because that can come off really masculine, and you don't want that. And you don't want him to think that you take yourself as a joke either. And that's another thing. Because when you make too many jokes and you're this big comedian, eventually he's gonna think you're like the homegirl, and he's gonna friend zone you super quick. And y'all know, being a big girl, we get friend zoned so fast. But definitely avoid that by not telling too many jokes. Because honestly, if y'all really sit here and think about it, most skinny girls that be with these men, like, they might not, have the personality that you do. And, there's no one's gonna be like you anyway. So definitely understand that when a man sees a woman and talks to a woman that is making him feel like he has to compete, that's when he's like, oh, I don't really like this. I'm uninterested and stuff like that. So letting him talk, let him be the comedian. You just need to be mysterious. Don't say too much. Let him try to figure you out more by taking you out on dates, really trying to impress you. He needs to be trying to impress you all the time. And that's how you know that he's super interested and you're not just some experiment. It's when he's putting that effort, that time, and really sitting here and trying to come up with ways to get your attention. That's the feeling that you should be having. Also, stop talking about your ex. Like I said, it goes back to talking too much. You don't need to tell him about how your ex couldn't handle your body and he didn't like your arm fat and he made you insecure. No. A lot of men will figure out your insecurities and then use them against you. So you want to never mention how you feel bad being fat. Maybe you could say you on a health kick and you work out and stuff like that. But definitely don't sit there and talk about how you're insecure about this, you're insecure about that, and you need reassurance about this. You need to be very confident, and he needs to understand that no, like I'm not insecure about that, and no, no one would ever treat me that way because I'm a princess. Like, and it might be a lie because I definitely told men, oh, like I've never I've never witnessed anything where my partner treated me bad. Like, it was just circumstances didn't work out and time, da 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 da. He doesn't even, and then move on because he don't even need to know that you have a lot of exes. Well, we need to focus on the present, sir. Okay, so don't talk about your insecurities. That ties into being mysterious, being chill, letting things come to you, and really not rushing when it comes to that stuff. So definitely let him be the comedian, girl. Don't talk about your ex. Um, especially don't bring up your weight, ladies. That's for women talk. That's for you to tell your girlfriends, men. No love. After you get the ring, tell them how insecure you are then. Okay? But until then, let's just fake it till we make it. If you feel like you're not that confident yet and you feel like you still have a few things to work out, it's going to come to you anyway. And that's the first step when it comes to being confident anyway, is really acknowledging the things that you're insecure about first. So don't bring up your weight. That's for your girlfriend. Don't talk about being fat. Don't talk about the ways you've been treating your life. Oh, everything's fine. Because they have to understand that your life is good where it's at right now, and he could only be in your life if he's an addition. So he needs to understand that super duper quick, and that's how you're gonna get him with taking you very seriously. And overall, taking yourself seriously, like I said in my first episode, making yourself a priority. If you're making yourself a priority, these men will take you as a priority. So that means always putting your standards first, never letting a man tell you that your standards are too high because you're fat, which is crazy because who are you talking to? What? You're not going to change your standards because you have high standards for yourself. So don't be too accessible. Be mysterious to stand out. You're not going to tell him everything about you. You're not going to tell him about your insecurities. You're not going to tell him about the way people have treated you bad, any arguments you've had in the past. You've never had that. Okay? When somebody asks me, oh, how your ex treated you, oh, how da da da, I'm like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm always being treated like a princess, like, keep up. Okay? You have to make them feel like they are in a competition. You know, a lot of men love competition. They love playing games. But now we learned the game, lady. We're in it. So like I said, you're the priority. You're the gift. No matter what size you are, he needs to chase you. He needs to impress you. I don't care if you 500 pounds or what. If you don't like what he's showing you now of, not being up to your standards, that's okay. Find another one. Okay? I know, like I said, I know it's hard. And we sit here and be like, okay, well, it's hard to find another man that is going to love me because of my size and stuff like that. But that still doesn't mean that you have to take what they give you just because you want a man in your life. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to lower your standards just because you feel like no one's ever going to love you again. When you honestly can't handle being alone for a little while. And that's what it is. A lot of big girls get anxious with being alone and stuff like that. But eventually, we just want someone that's warm in our bed. But on here, we are learning how to attract the man that we want, living up our life and making ourselves a priority. And over here, we are really sitting here and learning how we can change the way we think about being fat and when it comes to dating and things like that. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today. And I hope you guys really enjoyed it. These men should not be wasting y'all time, ladies. Y'all energy should not be going into dating as much as your energy should be going into you. So make yourself a priority. If you want a man to take you seriously, understand anytime a man isn't taking you seriously or you figure out quickly that you're an experiment, don't take it personally. Always take it and look at it as a society thing. Um, and truly understand that when you set your standards super duper high for yourself, he will set the standards super high for you as well. So, how you treat yourself is how he's going to treat you. So, over here, we're princesses. We get treated very dainty like, okay? And we deserve nothing but the best. And you deserve nothing but the best. That's right. Well, that is all for today's podcast. I hope you guys had a great listen today. I hope this was really good. I just really thought it was really important to understand that, yes, some of us are being treated like experiments. And there's ways to cut that off super quick because they should not even get a second chance, like, at all. Okay? So I hope you guys really enjoy this podcast. I post every Sunday at 8 o'clock. And you can follow my Instagram and my TikTok at JB underscore underscore heart. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Understand that you're a worthy, you're beautiful, and everything is going to be okay. I will see you guys next Sunday. Bye, y'all.